welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about stress and how I personally handle the days when I'm feeling super overwhelmed. No matter how organized your calendar is or how badass you are in Notion, life gets messy and these days just inevitably happen to all of us. However, I have definitely grown so much in the stress management department. There are situations in the past that would just make me crumble or feel so paralyzed and overwhelmed. And so I want to share with you some of the tools that are now in my toolbox, things that I've picked up over the years thanks to my meditation and mindfulness practice, as well as just being an entrepreneur, being self-employed, having to make tough decisions, problem solve to get the shit done. I feel like that was a super long run-on sentence, but you all get what I'm saying. So that's what I want to share with you all today, the tips and tools that I reach and grab for when life gets stressy. Before we dive in, make sure to hit subscribe. Let's do this. The first thing I do when I'm starting to feel stressed out and overwhelmed is to take a breather. When you're feeling stressed, the last thing you want to do is to walk away from your work, but I often find that that is the best thing you can do. So you know that feeling when you start to feel anxiety butterflies in the pit of your stomach, and then if you ignore it, it continues to fester and it works its way up into your chest and to the point where you feel like you are drowning, you're gonna panic. We don't want to get there. So when you start to feel those anxiety butterflies in the pit of your stomach, that is your signal to take a breath. Remember that your breath is there to support you. And then if you can, just walk outside even for 5 minutes. From personal experience, I've never benefited from continuing to push through when I'm already starting to feel that flutter in my chest where I'm like, I am gonna lose it. Take a moment to collect yourself so that you can come back feeling ready to go. The next thing I do is put my phone away. So when I take that breather, I don't bring my phone, but when I come back to my desk, I definitely don't want to have my phone out. I want to eliminate any distraction that is pulling me away from the things that I really need to get done. I turn on Do Not Disturb on my computer so that no notifications can pop up. And I also put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode and put it in a drawer, out of sight, out of mind. The third thing I try to be super mindful of is if I'm already feeling stressed and if I'm already feeling a little anxiety that day, I want to limit my caffeine intake. Nobody wants to hear this because a warm, cozy drink is just like food for the soul. However, coffee is not my friend when I'm feeling overwhelmed. I generally gravitate towards matcha, but even matcha has caffeine. So if I'm feeling stressed, I try to be mindful of my caffeine intake and go for something more grounding like chamomile or white pomegranate tea. That way I'm not further perpetuating my anxiety and those overwhelming feelings. The fourth thing I do is write it out. I get a paper, a pen, and I just brain dump all of my worries, everything I need to get done, and I just let it flow. Let it flow out of your head and onto the paper. Everything you're worried about is on this sheet of paper, and now you can see it right in front of you. The fifth thing I do is find a realistic solution. So now that I have it all written out, I'm able to see what is actually in my control and what's not in my control. If it's not in my control, I'm gonna cross it off and not worry about it because what can you do? Nothing. And then I ask myself, what actually needs to get done today? Or what can be pushed to next week? What are the self-imposed deadlines, something that I am putting on myself? I have the power to also take that off my plate if it is self-imposed. So I just run through some of those questions. I run through my list of all the things that I'm worried about, and I try to cross out what doesn't need to be there and make a smaller list and figure out what can I delegate, what can I cancel, what can I shift around, what can I change. Find a realistic solution. The sixth thing I do is take action. I now have my more focused, concentrated list of things that I need to do. And from that list, I prioritize what needs to get done first. And then from there, I take those individual tasks and I plot them out on my calendar in individual time blocks. You guys know that I'm a big fan of my Google Calendar as well as the productivity tool, Notion. Those are the two things that I use to really get the things done that I need to. So find whatever works best for you and start to delegate and prioritize those tasks. If you'd like to see a tour of my Notion setup, let me know in the comments below. I would love to show you the inside outs of how I organize my entire life in this powerful tool. The seventh thing that I want to remind you of is to take lots of breaks. So just as I said at the beginning of this video, it's really important to take a breather, but once you start actually tackling the tasks that you are stressed about and feeling overwhelmed about, it's important to get up at least every hour to get a drink of water, do a few stretches at your desk, just do something to break up those moments of full focus, deep work mode and find a reset. You are a human being, you're not a machine. It's okay to have these stressful and overwhelming days. It happens to the best of us. So that's it. I hope these tools were helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what you'd like to see more of in the future. I'm Jules, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.